This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Trench in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
I hate when it does that, man. God damn. Anyway, what's up? It's your boy Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. Let me start off by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. For real. Trust me, the views. For real. Ha!
That view is definitely not your affiliate.
I don't know how it does that every time. It's like when I restart everything, it does that. It goes straight to that. But today we're gonna have a good show. Hold on for a second, real quick. Hold on. Y'all look at the chair.
Look at the chair. What the what?
Okay.
You know what? At
Okay,
least you could have brought Mo on before you ran out the chair. I could have somebody to talk to.
Because I wanted to be simpatico with Mo. Now I bring him on. What up, Mo?
And he gave me, see, y'all didn't even give me fair warning. I'm mad right now. But you know what? That's okay because I keep mine close by. Give me 2 seconds.
Since you're on the radio,
I keep mine close
right.
by. Nah.
See?
Y'all didn't have to tell me anything. Nah.
I'm just saying. You know,
How you
that's
do
the
that,
credit
Mo,
card
anyway?
right there.
I just took a picture of it and then blew it up. It's still not right. It's there.
I need to use my green screen because I have one and it's still in the box. I've had it for about 3 or 4 months. Maybe
Years.
longer.
Years.
Maybe longer.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
and I need that about 3-4
years
ago.
But I like my background. You guys like my background?
It's cool.
Yeah, it look natural, right? It is natural. It's a natural background.
Hey, it's a good thing.
Mo, you doing it. You doing it, Mo. You doing it.
Yeah. Worldwide.
Mo. Mo got it. You know, I just so y'all can know, I didn't lie. I did send it.
Oh,
you got it.
I came home and
also,
it was on my computer desk, actually in front of my mom.
He didn't send it, Mo. He didn't send it.
Oh, Gina, what you doing?
He did lie. He didn't send it, Mo.
Who said it?
We have to get credit where credit is. Thank you, Jordan.
Okay.
Hey, man.
Give credit where credit is due.
You got it.
Look, I'm just saying, man. I told him to do it. So he did it. Knocked it out. And it's there. So you all see it. Now we can all say, definitely, we are definitely members of the National Black Radio Hall of Fame. Each and every one of us. And we have the certificates to prove it. All right?
And look, we got carte blanche. Dinah Lynn Biggs and Larry Jenkins. They you see that stamp on there? You see that stamp right there?
That's right.
That's legit.
So y'all just go down to Atlanta, y'all check it out, and y'all just look around and take a picture with right behind our names. I don't know how it's set up.
I may be in Atlanta at the beginning of 2026. I'm gonna make it my business to go. Dr. Stevens is working on something out there for
I think we should all
DAG. So yeah, you all should. Once you get everything
That's cool. I mean,
together.
I'm 3 or 4 hours away, so
That's it, Mo?
yeah. Yeah, you're a long way away. You got to catch a plane to get down here.
Oh yeah.
That's what I would do.
Well, I've driven before. I've driven plenty of times to Atlanta.
I mean, it's a straight shot down, really, and then you just break off the 24.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but you know what though?
I've done it before, but I don't want to drive now. I'd rather fly. I don't know though. Let me restate that. I don't know if I want to fly. We got planes falling up the sky.
I don't know that trip that I had yesterday. Whew.
Take a road trip. Mo, it's good to have you back, man.
Mo, was it? Did you fly back or did you drive back?
Fly. Got on the plane.
It was bad?
Well, I was sitting next to the Funk Master himself.
Oh, now that is horrible.
Bro, man was kicking like kung fu. He had the nerve to try to reach for stuff, and I'm like, sit down. He was giving both of them.
They don't have something in place for that. You know, we had something in place for that on my job when I worked.
What?
We had something in place.
That's called spray.
No, they would send you home if you had an odor.
We can send them home.
That should be something on the plane. Put them in a row by themselves or something. Send them in the way in the back. That's circulating through the air.
I mean, I was getting a headache. I think, man.
I can tell you this, man. Try working next to, and I love everybody, okay? But there was this Indian lady. Her name was Abeda. It's a long time ago. Her name was Abeda, man. And every day she's sitting right next to me, arms flapping and this and all. They didn't believe in the soap or something like that. I don't know, but all day long, man. Right. And I'm sitting up here. Somebody asked me what's wrong because I was crying. I wasn't really crying. It was just tears coming out of my eye. They said, "You okay, Greg?" Because every day you cry about the same time. I'm like, I had to tell on her, and they made her go and handle that business. You know what I mean? So, but you know what? I don't think she didn't have to buy anything from overseas, which is what we're talking about, man. These tariffs, all right? The tariffs are here. It's part of life now, all right? So we have to live with it. But we're kind of curious, everybody, and we're going to express ourselves as well. These tariffs, how has the tariffs changed your life? I mean, let's just get into it. What are you doing differently?
Yeah, and I just want to put a disclaimer, bro. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but let's stick to this because there's so many issues out there. But we want to talk about this today. Are the tariffs affecting you at all? Do you see a difference? Have you ran into any products that you ordered and there was a tariff? So that's really what we want to focus on.
We want to focus on that, absolutely. Go ahead, Mom.
I mean, the biggest thing is that we got to worry about is, the stuff that we use every day. Because most of the tariffs, I mean, if you got to get ready to buy a new house, a new car, or something that we have to, where we've been getting our resources from, is from another country, you're gonna have some problem.
And that's going to be as it continues, and hopefully it doesn't continue, because we were told that we're gonna put these tariffs in place, and it ain't gonna last forever. We're just trying to make a point. We're trying to make a point. And why are you did you ask us? Were we cool with it? You know what I mean?
Well, this was a promise that he made, during his campaign. I mean, you can't complain about it because you voted for the promise, and the promise was to bring the stuff back to USA. And we USA, hey, don't F with us, So I mean,
for the most part, you know what? It's a lot of people that even before the tariffs that only buy US
American.
made.
That's right.
Yeah, they only buy American, and I know deeper, people.
Those that dig deeper say USA black, USA whatever, I mean, the thing about it is, this is a national economy, and everybody, we're not the only ones that share, or export stuff and import stuff. The whole world does. Right. I mean, it's not like this is this is gonna make a big difference, because First of all, it's going to take 4 to 5 years for anybody in this country to get up off their duff and say, okay, now we're going to make this here. We're not going to buy it over. Not to mention, we got folks at EPA that keeps us from cutting down trees and all this other stuff to get timber. So we get it from places that, you get it from places where don't care nothing about their environment. So.
Yeah, but you know what? I know that the tariff, I'm going to tell you, I did get hit with running into a tariff. I had to replace my granddaughter's remote to her ceiling fan. Now the remote is covered. It's under warranty still. So the company texted me back and said, there's no charge to replace the remote. So they send me an email, and when I open the email, there's a $30 charge.
Shoot.
So I said, why is there a $30 charge? This can't be shipping.
No.
And they came back with, that's the tariff that you have to pay.
Yep.
So I'm like, well, then the fan cost me $69. I'm going to pay $30 for a remote control to the fan? I don't think so. And I declined it.
It makes no sense. I mean, but they also told you that, it's under warranty. If it's under warranty, you shouldn't have to pay for it. So what do you pay?
But I have to pay because it's coming out of China. It's coming out of China.
Problem.
Yep.
And so there was a $30 tariff.
Byron says whenever anyone has to get an automobile repaired, the effects of the tariffs will be immediately felt because most parts are imported. So now you can't get your car fixed. You know what I mean? Yep. Can't get your car fixed. And Lewis says, look here, every one of these countries are going to turn their back on America. It's coming. I agree with you, man.
They've already done that. But see, ain't nobody thinking about the effects of none of this. It's just that, I understand that you want to protect us and do us by us and all of that other stuff. But we don't do that. That was done in 1939. That wasn't done in the 2000s. So we gotta if it's a better way to do it this way, then like they did it in 1939, then explain it to us, because this is not making any sense to kill all these jobs, fire all these people, make all these companies go belly up for no reason, and then turn around and fix it and say you done something.
Yeah, but do you buy into, or do you feel like what they're saying? Hey, we have to. This is collateral damage. We have to take a step or 2 or 3 back before we take 10 steps forward. Explain it then.
See, so my thing with that is like Gina just said, it's going to be a domino effect. Okay, we're getting hit with these tariffs. We're paying, and because the thing is that we have to buy products. We have to have some of these things. They're necessary. Like Byron says with the car. It's necessary that we get our car fixed. So, but the parts are coming from overseas, so what do we do now? We get some tape and some super glue and some wires and fix it ourselves because we can't afford to fix our cars.
A perfect example of the car thing is if you look over in Cuba. They got cars over there 60, 70 years old, and they make their own parts because they refuse to, import anything.
Well, so, can we do that here in the U.S.?
No, not at all.
Well, not immediately. I mean, it's going to, if it gets really stupid, it's going to happen. But it's going to happen. And when you talk about pain and all that other stuff, I understand what you're saying. You got to have a little pain to get a little gain. I understand that. But explain to me why that is good. It's a good thing. Because those parts to be made over here gonna cost 20 times as much. It might as well be a tariff on it. You know what I'm saying?
Lewis,
those parts.
Lewis, go ahead. Go ahead, Mo.
I mean, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Ray.
No, I was saying, go ahead.
Those parts, those car parts, it's still gonna be expensive. The reason why we don't make chips here is because it costs too much to make them here. I mean, we got the raw materials sitting in our backyard and all that stuff. But as soon as they fire that up and had to pay a person $35 an hour to make it,
my problem is we didn't have a say so in this though. That's what's really getting me. It's like, hey, I'm gonna do this. you're going to suffer for a while, okay? But you don't know each, and I'm not saying anything bad about the president, but he does not know each and every individual situation.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's situation is different.
Where I have to disagree with you, bro, is where you say we didn't have a say-so in this. Quite frankly, we did. Maybe we voted that we didn't want it, but the majority voted that they wanted it. So to say that we didn't have a say, that's not true, because when we voted, we knew that he was going to do this. And so it was majority voted that they wanted him in office, and knowing that the tariffs were going to come about.
Yep,
I get that. I mean, you're right. I get that. Hey, Lewis said that all this is going to do is going to create more robbery and people getting killed. Felice says Trump has an agenda. Did anyone watch his interview with Kristen Welcher on Meet the Press? He spoke about children and the amount of dolls that they have. Lewis says it's going to take about 3 years for America to start doing things on their own. Frank says we don't want to do it here because we're lazy and doing what and don't want to make it as cheap as they can overseas.
But can we make it as cheap as they can overseas? That's the reason a lot of companies outsource, is because it's cheaper overseas.
That's right.
And even when we talk about the tariffs that he spoke about putting on the film industry, a lot, I'm pretty sure that those in the film industry, they don't want that. One, they haven't even had a comeback from COVID yet. Right. The film industry took a real hit from COVID. And so they're trying to rebound from that. And now you're talking about putting tariffs on films made out of the U.S. Well, they make the films out of the U.S. because they can make them cheaper and they can put more money in the actor's pocket, and all the people that, produce the film, the actors, everybody involved. Now they can put more money in their pocket as opposed to paying more to make it here.
Well, that is so true. Again, we're talking about apples and oranges, or apples and grapes, really, if you think about it. Think about this. What a dollar is worth in Mexico. A whole lot of money. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if we're paying somebody to make a part for $5 an hour versus a peso, that's a lot of money. Okay? Mm-hmm. So that part's going to be dirt cheap versus us making the same part for $15 an hour or $17 an hour per person. So that part is going to be expensive if it has to be built here or made here. Ain't nobody thought about that yet. Everybody talking about the tariffs. But if you bring it back here, it's going to be expensive, period. Ford makes a whole bunch of cars in Mexico for that reason. But
Ford is saying they can do it. They're saying that they can produce the cars here for cheaper and not have to. I saw them speak about it.
Yeah, me too. And I saw them saying, today. That the tariffs are going to kill them as well. I mean, they're always talking about what the tariffs, even though Ford has probably the most employees that build cars in America. Toyota does too. So does BMW. So does Hyundai. So does Nissan. They all have people that build cars here. And you know what? They're avoiding the tariffs. You know why? Because they got forced a long time ago to build their cars here, not there, and then ship them here. And
that's crazy, Hyundai, though, man. Real quick, Barnes says the tariffs have caused just over $5 trillion of loss in the market. On Biden's last day, the Dow was at 44,000, and in less than 100 days of Mango Unchained, the Dow was at 37,000. Also, keep in mind that the bond market took a big hit too. Yep. And usually when stocks suffer, bonds will perform well, which just isn't the case now. Ella said that Ford said today the cost of the cars are going up $2,000 today. Yeah. And Felice says that Nike and other companies have been using slave labor and selling at astronomical prices in the U.S.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's true.
How do I mean, this is from my standpoint, it's a power play, okay? But it's a power play that honestly, did we really have to make this power? Did he really have to make this power play? Was it necessary?
Well, in his brain, it is. His thinking, it is. From his logic and what he, and I'm not too sure the thinking is all there, but his way of thinking is, if we put these tariffs on the other countries and get them to come to the table and be fair, because what he's saying is they have not been fair when it comes to there's products and selling and the taxes that we have to pay for other countries. So what he's saying is, we're going to make it fair. So we're going to put these tariffs on these countries so that they come to the table and come to an agreement for something that's going to benefit all Americans. Now that's what he's saying.
Or make
that's
it
what he's
some
saying.
kind of way. And that's going to be impossible, because in order for it to be equal, we all have to have the same type of currency. We have to base that labor on our currency, and we have to bring those people that are doing the labor, they have to bring their salaries up. So in order for it to work and be even, those people have to actually get a folk a raise. So to make stuff for us. And it's still going to be the same, but it's going to be the same thing as a tariff. When it's all said and done, if they got to bring the price up, it's going to be a tariff. If we have to build it here, that's the same thing. It's going to be a tariff, because it's expensive to build here, period.
Okay, and not only that, but think about already. Listen, I have people, I'm a big advocate for buying from small businesses. I have for years. That's my go-to. Whenever I'm looking for something, I go to small businesses first. I have had lots of small businesses saying that they have to shut their doors.
Yep.
Because a lot of their products came from China. They can't get them, and it's going to be too expensive to continue to sell them. So I know I have a lot of small businesses that I have been doing business with that will no longer have their doors open because of these tariffs.
That's true. And I think about what Byron just said. He crashed the market, and he's killing the market for personal gains. He's killing the market so people can get. I mean, I think Margie Taylor Greene, she got into the market because it's low enough for her to get into right now. So all the people that want to get into the market that's in his cabinet and sharing the dream with him, drinking the Kool-Aid, they're investing. I mean, it don't sound crazy, but if you had a little cash, you might want to invest into the market, because what's going to happen? He's going to reverse all this stuff, and everything's going to shoot back up. You know
what though?
The market's going to shoot back, and then he's going to claim that he fixed it, something that he broke.
The part of his agenda is to make America great again, okay, and to make it a superpower like it used to be, okay. But that's the way it was back then. Now all of these countries are superpowers, all right. So they're not going to fall for the okie doke. They're like, okay, you want to do it to us, we're going to do it to you, and now everybody, I mean, worldwide, everybody's suffering, because those that get stuff from the United States, they're being taxed with this tariff, and we are being the guinea pigs for this little experiment that he's doing.
But the countries with the largest economy, the strongest economy, they're not sitting down at the table with him. China, Canada, they're not sitting down saying, I'm going to kiss the ring and we're going to, do what it is you want us to do. That's not what's happening now. No. We're getting hit with these tariffs, and we are the ones paying the tariffs.
We are the ones.
So I'm still trying to understand how we're benefiting from him raising tariffs when we're paying 145% from something coming from China. I'm not understanding that piece of it, because right now we're suffering, and really the lower class people, the people who are, down, not making the kind of money that those up there are making, it is affecting our households. It's affecting us when we go to the store. When I go to the store, and my granddaughter she said, Nana, stop it. I'm fussing and I'm cussing about these prices. because I used to could go into the store and buy $200 worth of groceries and it could last us 3 or 4 weeks. And now I go in the store and I buy $200 or $300 worth of groceries and it might last us 5 days.
That right there. So the question is, okay, let me ask this question. And I really want a straight for real answer. The stuff that's coming out of China costs $10 to build. That's just a hypothetical number. The tariff on it's 100%. So now it costs $20. I'm talking about a complete product. So does that hurt?
Does it hurt?
Well, it does hurt because it's going to be more than $20. You got to think about that. This is a tariff on top of the tax. You know what I'm saying? It's not $10 for the product and a $10 tariff, and it's 145%. So it's going to be more than $10.
Yeah, I was a hypothetical number.
Yeah, but that $10 product will probably cost you about $25.
What's going on, Virgil Kane from Manchester, England? Appreciate you tuning in, bro. Most definitely.
Hey there, Virgil. So yeah, it is, and it's pinching. It's pinching us. I don't know about y'all, but it's pinching my household.
Steven said taxes on top of taxes. Yeah. I'm
buying less.
Let me read some.
I'm more looking at closer at the prices. Some things I used to buy, I'm not buying because the price is just ridiculous. Avocados. Look at the price of an avocado, you guys.
Look at the
things now that I'm not buying.
Look at the eggs though. See, so I'm getting ready. I'm not going to get no Chinese chicken. Okay, I'm gonna buy a chicken, man, and put some stuff in my backyard, and so I can have me regular eggs, so that I ain't gotta go and buy eggs for $30 a carton. It's ridiculous. Now we can't eat. You know what I'm saying? We gotta watch how we buy groceries. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The last 2 months,
everything else.
The last 2 months have been 3 chicken coops that sprung up in my neighborhood.
Come on, man.
Well, someone's chickens were lost out here. It was 5 chickens walking across the road. Seriously, this is not even a joke. It was 5 chickens walking across the
about
road.
10 minutes.
Seriously, it was 5 of them.
So now
somebody fired up the grill. Them boys was gone.
The joke is, why did the chicken cross the road? To get away from the tariffs.
Get away from the tariffs.
Get away from the tariffs. Byron said he's lying on steroids about the tariffs. His presidency has been nothing but golfing, gaslighting, and grifting. Okay. True. Frank says the rich get richer, poor get poor. That's man.
Yeah, but they're not suffering, you guys. They're not suffering. Trump is not suffering. His family's not suffering. His children are not suffering. His grandchildren are not suffering. His circle is not suffering. They're not suffering by these tariffs.
That's right, Fluffy.
Well, he said eggs became high because of the bird flu. She's right about that, though. She is right about that.
Yeah.
Byron said, Gina, it's up to you to jumpstart the economy since word on the street is that when you write a check, the bank bounces.
I wish that was the truth, Byron. I wish that was the truth.
I'm not changing anything I eat. Virgil says, is an avocado a fruit or a vegetable, Gina? Good
it's
question.
A fruit, from what I understand. I don't know. I don't know. It may be whatever you want to call it, Virgil. You could call it a fruit or a vegetable. We had that debate with tomatoes.
It's a veggie-fruit.
It's a veggie-fruit.
Veggie-fruit. Lock it in. That's the
word. All I know,
y'all
Virgil, is too high right now to buy. I understand that Ella is saying she's not changing what she eats or what she buys, but in some cases I have to because I'm kind of on the healthy end already. So I was already paying a lot for my foods because I try to stay within the, I'm right there. I try to be a little bit healthy as much as I possibly can. So I spend a lot on fruits, vegetables, things like that anyway. but it's just too expensive now. Look, like I said, if I continue, if I don't watch what I'm spending in the stores now, we're not going to have enough food for the whole month.
But you know, that's how
we
are. That's how we are, man. We bold like that. Okay, it's like, okay, I ain't gonna let it affect me. We say that with with our chest, but we got tears in our eyes because we're like, I ain't gonna let it affect me, but it is. Yeah,
I don't think it's not gonna affect everybody. I think at some point it's gonna hit people somewhere. Whether it's when you go Christmas shopping, or maybe you decide you're only gonna get $1 instead of $2. I don't know. But I think at some point it is going to affect everyone, because right now we're at the stage where a lot of the inventory is still here. A lot of companies have inventory that they had already. When it's going to hit is when they run out of that inventory and they have to purchase more. That's when you're really going to see it. And that's why you have a lot of companies that's saying, our cars are tariff free, because the inventory is already there.
It's already there. But what happens when it runs out? Okay, how long is this tariff thing going to last? Ella said, a bill won't get paid before I start eating healthy. And Felice said, again, the tariffs is what caused the Boston Tea Party.
That is exactly
right. Good point, Felice.
Taxation without
remember the Boston Tea. Some people don't even know about the Boston Tea Party. 20-year-olds, they probably like, what's that?
That was a question on one of our final tests, okay, in high school, okay? Taxation without representation. Tell them. Frank said, one question, how is it that we pay taxes, but they tax your pay? Tax when you buy things, and why is it that when you were taxed when you got paid?
Yeah. Frank, I ask that question all the time. Why are we are double, triple taxed on everything? You get taxed for Social Security, and then when you pull Social Security, they tax it again.
Yeah.
And please, somebody tell me. I've been asking this question for 40 years. Somebody please tell me, who the hell is FICA? All right.
That's your best friend.
When they put FICA up, I'm like, who is FICA? Why am I giving FICA some of my money? Okay. No, please explain FICA. Don't explain it. Don't worry about it. It's like,
that's your best friend.
I'm gonna put you on something else, since you're talking about that part. He's trying to get rid of Medicaid and Medicare and Social Security altogether. If they do that, you need to pay me back all mine. You know what I'm saying? All I done put in for these thousands.
I've been working since age 15. Now that's where it's going to be so many lawsuits.
Oh, hell yeah.
There's going to be so many lawsuits.
You're going to cut it off, and then you're going to take my money. That's called robbery.
And it's legal. It's legal robbery. Frank says that's your pimp. Yeah, man.
Give my money up like that. Give my money, Trick.
I really feel like this. I think somewhere somebody's going to figure out how to get around these tariffs. Them folks be out there thinking. I'm telling you, they be out there thinking, and I don't know how they come up with some of this stuff. But watch and see. It might take a little bit of time, but somebody's going to figure out how to get around them.
Gina,
and then we're going to have a reel on Facebook.
Around the tariffs.
We're going to have a reel on Facebook. Like they always stick these little reels when you watch this stuff. It's going to be a reel on Facebook. Do you want to know how to get over tariffs? Well, buy my book for $29.99. Okay.
Sign up for this class.
They've been knowing how to get around tariffs. The UK, US, all of us. All of those companies that want to get around tariffs, all they have to do is import it to India and then turn around and export it back to and then send it back here to
import it to India, import it to Indiana. Okay, not just India. Import it to Indiana.
Well, you know what I'm saying? They send it to another country, and then a country that doesn't have that tariff, they bring it back in. That's how they've been getting around them forever. But Trump just tariffed everybody. So that little loophole might go away.
I don't know. Barry said the lack of knowledge of
what's so crazy about that product don't go nowhere. It don't go nowhere. It don't get shipped. All India do, or wherever the country it is, or they say, from India. They send them a bunch of stickers to put on there. Came from XYZ company. In what country?
Byron says the lack of knowledge of basic civics and the economy by most Americans is astounding. We're a very ignorant nation in many ways, in so many ways.
And so, yeah, and that's why people aren't understanding that the tariffs that are we're paying the tariffs. We are the ones paying the tariffs. And if people don't know that, then yeah, they don't know about basic economics.
You got to understand something else with basic economics. You do some crap like that and you want to bring it back. The basic economics is for every action, there's a reaction. So you say, for instance, if they was able to crank up the production of chips, I keep using chips because I've seen this scenario, and they crank up the production of chips in the U.S. the next day. Still, you got to pay that American worker a wage way, way, way higher than that. Even if it's automated fully, it's still going to cost way more to make that chip here.
You know what, though? I look at this like Trump is Nino Brown and United States is the Carter, okay? we gotta do what he says, all right? And we gotta pay him or pay back to Nino the things that Nino want, all right?
Well, they paying in his currency, his Trump currency.
It sure did.
Getting off track.
I was like, "Are you serious?"
Man, he's serious as a heart attack. He want to open Alcatraz back up. All right, Ella had said something about that earlier.
That's a waste of money.
Alcatraz back up.
That is a total waste of money.
It's millions of dollars, number one, just to get it fixed up again, okay? But then to start doing.
That's just something else for somebody like him and his cronies to invest into the making.
Yeah, but it'll. Is it going to be cheaper than what he's paying El Salvador? I mean, he's paying them millions of dollars.
Look, Trump picks where he want to send them folk. You know what I'm saying? He can send them folks to any prison in this country because we got plenty of them. And some of them is damn near empty.
Yeah.
So, I mean.
Hey, Felice said that Trump, since he came into office, there are at least 220 lawsuits challenging his administration.
Yeah.
And he's losing a lot of them.
Reese, my man Reese, what's going on? He said, I pay more for it to be made here, though. My neighbor deserves a good job, too. Globalized trade is so cheap because they pay children pennies a day. Not that Trump is going about it the right or wrong way, but are we saying child labor is better than paying more for an American wage? Good point, Reese. Good point.
Yeah, that's a real good point. And I think that was addressed back in the 90s that we're not going to use companies that use child labor. I don't know how they use
child labor here. Reese, they're going to start using child labor here because the workforce is getting very thin in every industry out there. Yeah. So I think in Florida, they already changed the child labor laws. They removed the child labor laws where I think they could start working out there at the age of 13.
Damn.
But they made some changes in Florida already because they don't have enough people in the workforce.
This is
so now they're we're gonna have it here,
right
Reese.
But he makes a good point. He makes a good point, and I'm with him on this. I would pay more for it to be made here as well. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it. You know, we're American. Let's keep it American made. All right, because that way, if we buy it here, it creates more jobs here. Our economy stabilizes. You know what I mean?
Our economy was stabilized before that.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that. We had a stable economy.
Now
we had a stable economy.
I mean, we had one, but I'm just saying, if we just said, forget it, y'all keep y'all stuff, we're going to learn how to make it here, it'll stabilize us back. You know what I'm saying?
Greg, we already know how to make it.
It's just going to cost too much.
Yeah, we already know how to make it.
It's going to cost too much.
We already know how to make it. And you think that 140% tariff is a mug. Wait till you paying 1,000% tariff.
Listen, I went to Haiti and we donated $500 to an orphanage out there. That $500 in Haiti will last. That's a year's pay in a country like Haiti. So think about a struggling country, third world country, excuse me, like Haiti, that rely on those jobs like that. Think about, we pull that money away, what is going to happen to those countries like that? They're already struggling. The little bit that they get paid from American jobs that may come out there, that's the only way that they're sustaining.
I get that, Gina, but what? Okay, but if it goes like it's going, we can't worry about them. I mean, I understand it's a human thing to do, but we can't worry about them. Yeah. They got to worry about themselves. You know,
they could say the same about us. We can't worry about the U.S., and that's what they're saying, because the other countries are.
Haiti's not going to hurt us.
I'm not saying Haiti. I'm saying China and Canada. They already are looking at other ways to sell their products and buy products other than with the U.S. We're being alienated. They're starting to form alliances with each other.
The thing about the only thing that's a golden savior in this thing is that we consume crap at an unbelievable rate, and it makes those other countries super rich, and that's what Trump is banking on.
I don't know what he's banking on, okay, but it's not the citizens of the United States. That's what I'm saying, okay. I don't have anything against Trump. Like I said, this is not a Trump bashing forum here. We're talking about what the tariffs are going to be doing to us. All right. And unfortunately, Mr. Trump, President Trump, that you're the catalyst for it. Cheap labor in the United States has been the Hispanic population. They need labor laws to protect them too. She says also, Felice, the United States imports children for sex trafficking. They do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know, it's a lot of sex trafficking. Come on now. That's
in these times, everyone needs to help each other. I get that, Ella. That's the human thing to do, but we have to help ourselves. We got to help ourselves.
Well, I guess that's what Trump is doing.
The people who support Trump will follow him blindly, and if he told them to eat a feces sandwich, they would only ask what kind of bread should be used.
But you know what? I'm with Ella. You can't just say we got to look out just for ourselves. That's why the alliances were. But bro, that's why the alliances were put together, so that every country got a strong point.
I understand.
Ours may be the dollar. Another country may be the labor. Every country has a strong point. And so to build those alliances, your strong point is going to help me. My strong point is going to help you.
But what happens when neither one of those can do that anymore? Let's hear what Reese says. Reese says deindustrialization and globalization may have made it cheaper here, but it cost us most of the middle class. All I'm saying is I pay more tariff-free to build back higher wage jobs for products I find to be better. American quality is always higher, in my opinion. Wages haven't kept up. The workforce goes up when wages do. Profits over a healthy workforce is corporate greed, and we can't just accept that either.
Yeah, and that's the thing, Reese. If the cost of living, if wages were even keeping up with the cost of living, I would agree with you 100%. But it hasn't worked that way, and it's not working that way. And so, even though you're saying I would rather pay more for a product made here, whose pocket is that money going into? Do you think it's the people who are working in those jobs? No. And then even if they do raise their wages, then they also raise their health insurance. So it never gets to a point where the people working in the labor, middle class and lower class, ever catches up.
Okay. Ever since they dropped the gold standard, wages haven't gone up. And Felice says, that's what Reese says. And Felice says, tell this to the American farmers. They suffer. Felice is absolutely right. They suffering their ass off right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're suffering. And listen, and Trump is getting rid of our low labor anyway. He's shipping them all out of the country. We just got a big
bus here. And you know what's so crazy about that? We have communities on the outside of the Davidson County, that the Spanish population is not that big, and it's folk, and this ICE deal today was focused exactly where about 60% of the Spanish population is.
Reese says, I'm okay with a company making more alongside with their workers, though. Workers don't hold the risk. The shareholders do.
And that they're looking to fatten their pockets, not the workers, not the ones on the front line. No, they're not trying to give them anything. Look at these companies that are making billions of dollars and what they're paying their employees. Peanuts.
There's one company out there, though, that I read about some time ago, not now during this, but I was just bringing this up. They gave every employee a huge bonus every year. Huge, I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, Mo, right?
Microsoft.
Yeah, it was a Microsoft?
Yep, it was Microsoft.
There's a few companies.
Every year.
There's a few companies that are on the best companies to work for list.
Yeah.
And that's because they value their employees.
Right. Exactly.
Well, how many companies? How many of us have worked for a company like that?
I have.
Two companies. No. But, you know, as we close this out, man, the biggest question right now is, how do we navigate through this tariff situation? How are we going to make sure that we can keep a normal life with all of this going on?
I'm just more conscious about how I spend my dollar now. I'm more conscious about the prices of different things that I purchase. I'm paying more attention. Is it coming from China? I'm looking at that now. You know, whereas before it didn't matter. I just looked at the price. If it was a price within my range, I'm buying it. But now I look at a whole lot of other things before I decide to make a purchase.
But Gina, these are the things that people don't look at. Okay, you look at your 401k, and I can bet you probably about 40% of that money that you earn comes from China, you know, because of the investments that have been made. So, I mean, a lot of people don't understand. The middle class is catching it that does have a 401k. They're catching it now because it's going away. Now, the thing of the fix is going to be, okay, I'm going to undo everything I did. Now it looks like it's been fixed. But all he did is put things back like they were before.
But they wouldn't, then they're not going to be back like they were before, Mo. You can't. And even if it does, it's going to take some time. He can't just fix it like that.
He said, it's going to hurt.
Even if he came tomorrow and said, no, you know, I'm removing these tariffs, we still going to feel it.
Yep.
Because then there has to be a transition of now trying to get back to normal. I mean,
because think about the shipments that were canceled. Right, shipments that are sitting on the dock in Korea, in South Korea. Think about all that, and think about a lot of the transportation methods have completely stopped.
Well, I thought about this for a second. They were talking about this in the San Francisco Bay, which is one of the biggest ports in the country. That bad boy was damn near empty.
It went from 14 shipments a day to 3.
I mean, that's crazy.
It went from 14 to 3.
Politically, it's working, right? Politically, it's working. It's doing what I guess it's meant to do.
I wouldn't agree with you on that. I don't agree. I don't feel like it's working. How is it working?
Well, I said politically. I didn't say it was working, you know, overall.
Explain what you mean then when you say politically it's working.
Because the point of everything was that since they don't want to do what we're asking them to do, we're going to put tariffs on them, and it's going to affect their commerce. It's going to affect their businesses. Okay, that's what it's doing too. It's doing that to us too, but it's doing that to them.
But if it were working,
I said politically.
China, Canada. This is politically. They would be sitting down with Trump saying, "Hey, let's come to an agreement. Let's put an end to this. Let's see what we can do to make this right." That would to me would be politically working.
They claim that some of them have, but nobody's divulged on who, you know.
And just like he said, China had sat down with him, and
the Chinese right out the bat, they say we ain't sit down with him.
Yeah. Yes. No. And matter of fact, when he sat down with Carney, he could have they could have negotiated that day.
Yeah.
Hey, Felice
Right
says
there,
that,
face to face.
Felice said made in China is something that I remember as a child and still see this. But with these unreasonable tariffs, this might be a thing of the past. Frank said how's he selling green cards, calling them gold cards? And you get money with them, saying that people that get them will bring money to the country.
A money grab, Frank. That's why.
Frank
Money
says,
grab.
what's a normal life now? You know? And Ella says it's what we are losing due to the tariff. Some of this stuff I'm put on
this.
Well, I don't see a win either. I'm just saying, you know, it's just something now that this is now another thing that has made us have to make it our norm. This is what we have to live through now. So we got to adjust our lives now. We just got to adjust how we spend, as Gina said. Watch what we spend, because $100 worth of groceries is not $100 worth of groceries no more. Okay,
about $10.
$100 worth of groceries is it's like $5-10 worth of groceries. All right, and you sit there at the counter with 5 items, and she rings
that
it
is
up.
The truth.
Yeah,
man, I was so mad. I had 4 items and I spent $100. I was like, "Are you serious? $100." I literally did have 4 items.
I don't want a carton of eggs. I want 2 eggs. Let me get 2 eggs. All right.
They're gonna be out on the street corner selling them eggs and everything else.
Yeah, y'all make the egg sandwich fun, okay? And I'll
make
pay you to
egg
make it for me, all right?
Or wake up in the morning like I did one morning, and you know I'm stepping off my front porch, and I heard something go puck 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 puck. The damn chicken was in the tree.
I'm telling you, them 5 chickens was crossing the street yesterday.
I know they didn't last long in the Jeep.
Tell the joke. Make sure you tell the joke to all your friends. Why did the chicken cross the road? Get away from the terrorists. All right. We are at 947, y'all. Hey, one thing the tariffs is not affecting is how we produce this show. We had 947, all right? 947. Can't stop us unless they start making tariffs on StreamYard. I don't know. But you can't stop us, okay?
Well, we have to ask Virgil, because I think where he say he's from was, let's see if he got hit with a tariff.
Manchester. But you can't stop this, y'all. Can't stop this. The paper has already been printed. All right. So we good. We are members of the National Black Radio Hall of Fame. We thank you guys for you're part of that. So as we go, you go as well. So thank you guys for hanging out with us and watching this. This is an important show, man, because we really need to understand and talk about, because again, conversation breeds knowledge. We need to talk about the things that are going on in the country, and tariffs is really, really, really one of the bigger issues. So, you know, I'm glad you guys had an opportunity to hang out with us and listen to it and voice your opinion as well. Ella said, don't film out of the country.
Right, Ella? We're going to pay a tariff.
I'm going to go. Look, it is what it is. Felice said people have been buying live chickens to offset the price of eggs. I'm saying. Thank you, Steve. He said, glad you're feeling better, Mo.
Appreciate you, man.
Ella,
by the grace of God. By the grace of God.
By the grace of God. Gina, real quick, man, give us a little bit about that. What's going on with the Distinguished Author Guild? Is it getting bigger and better now?
Yes, and you know what? We get into that deadline. May 31st is the last day to register for the Distinguished Authors Guild. So if you have that award-winning book, get it out there. Get it. Submit your registration form. Send your books, and know that your book is going to be promoted. So even if you're having problems promoting, if you've written your book, it's published, and you don't know what to do, come and join the Distinguished Authors Guild community, because we're going to help you get that book out there in front of audiences, in front of different people, in front of eyes that you would normally not have been able to reach. So come on, bring your books on. I'm telling you, I feel so proud to hear the testimonies of authors who started back in 2020 with us, who are saying, hey, because of Distinguished Authors Guild DAG, I'm writing in magazines. People are noticing my books. My books are here. My books are there. They're in the school system. the people are looking at them now. I'm able to, have my courage and confidence built up. I'm telling you, get your books. We will be celebrating you authors, all the nominees, November 9th at Theater 47. It is going to be a night to remember again.
All right.
I'm telling you, man.
All right.
You think about this, Jenny, you started back in 2020 with the Distinguished Authors Guild, and you had some, I like calling people out. You had some people that was down with you, was doing everything and this and that, okay? But now as the situation has grown, they probably saying, like the old boy from that was in the Temptations at first, when they was the other group, the Cadillacs, whatever they were, sit at the bar with a drink in their hand like, dang, that could have been me. I could have been a part of that. And, but no, you all make sure that you all support this, all right? Because this is one of the only platforms, the Distinguished Authors Guild, that gives homage to authors. And make sure that they learn, because a lot of them don't. Make sure that they learn. They write a book and then they sit on it. What the hell is that, man? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I really don't get it. You wrote this book. You took your time, wrote this book, published it, got it out there.
Fear. It's fear. People are afraid of success. And I'm going to tell you, I had a phone call just yesterday, from someone who said, I wrote an anthology with one of the authors who are in Distinguished Authors Guild. And they anthology consists of a lot of authors, and some of those authors went off and wrote their own books. This individual said, I see one of the authors that's in Distinguished Authors Guild has blown up while I sat on my hands. And now that author is doing all of this, and I didn't do anything. And I feel like I'm left behind.
Not too late.
It's not too late, because guess what? We still are taking registration. We still are taking books. So register your book so that you can be a part of this community. Because everybody in this community supports each other.
Shout out to Rachel Gary. She a champion for that, man. Okay.
Mo, oh my gosh, she's a ball of fire.
Let's get out of here, Mo.
Man, look. First of all, I want to thank everybody that gave me them prayers. I needed them. I still need them. I'm not out the woods yet. I still got a lot, a lot going on that I need to take care of for my health. But I'm better off than I was. Trust me. And I know God's got me. That's what I gotta hang on to. God's got me no matter what. Family. Amen. This tariff stuff. A lot of folks say wait and see. By the time you see, it's gonna be too late. I'm gonna leave it just like that.
Right. Jenny, what you got?
You're gonna be like this.
I see the light at the end of the tunnel. Damn, it's a train. Run.
Right.
Too late.
Jenny, what you say? Gina?
Say that. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I went already. Listen, this is real. I mean, we have to be cognizant of what we're doing with our dollars now. We have to pay attention to what we're doing because it's real, you guys. If the tariffs or what's going on haven't hit your doorstep yet, it will. I've been hit a couple of times with the changes that have come out right now. Yeah, right now I'm dealing with my granddaughter who was taken off of whatever they on for medical at the age of 15. And they saying she don't qualify at the age of 15. So if you think it's not going to hit you, it's going to hit you. It has hit my doorstep a few times. And, I'm very conscious of what I'm doing, what I'm spending, how I'm spending, making sure that, these tariffs don't wipe me out. It's real, y'all. It's real.
It's real out there in that field, okay? But one thing, the tariffs ain't hitting it on these Dope Living t-shirts, all right? So we're going to start production of these Dope Living t-shirts.
Did you get them t-shirts from China?
Nah.
You got them from Walmart, which got them from China.
I got a whole
For $2.
I got a whole farm of silkworms, okay? And they making them up myself, making them up here.
Cotton fields.
All right?
He got
But
cotton
man,
fields.
inbox me with your I'm gonna put a little promo out there with these t-shirts. Go on and hit these t-shirts up, man. They're not expensive, okay? There's no tariff tax on them, okay? And we will send them. I'm taking care of all the shipping and handling, all right? So don't worry about it. You're good, all right? Inbox me with your sizes, the logo that you want, and this and that, okay? They are tariff free. Ask Felice Bronson. She got a couple of them already, okay? They are tariff free. So anyway, man, we really appreciate you guys coming through and hanging out with us and talking about the tariff. And Ella says, because I thought she was gone already, she says, when will they be seen? All right, I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna show them all. Hold on. Ella said a little while ago, bye y'all. Okay, she's still there. Calling you out, Ella. You're a friend. Okay. Steven said, you sending it? Of course I am. I'm gonna send them. Okay. Post the logo. I got you. All of that, man. It's gonna happen. Okay. Here's the logo that I'm posting.
I don't
Marinate
think that's
on
a
that,
logo.
right? Marinate on that, okay? Anyway, it's Dope Living TV Live, man. Tomorrow is Talk About It Thursday. We'll have something else to talk about, okay? Even though we did talk today, we have something else to talk about. And don't forget, tomorrow to end your week off, because this is our week ending. But to end the week off, Rachel Gary's here with another CEO nugget. Y'all got to get that.
Listen, she always have more than one nugget. You got to put an S on the end.
It's a whole plate. You know, it's not just one nugget that you just pop in your mouth and get. It's a whole plate. She handling that, okay? Ella said, y'all on 2 different devices. Ella, didn't you say bye a long time ago? We on 2 different devices.
This was an interesting conversation that Ella wanted to hear it till the end.
She stayed, okay? Shout out to you, Ella.
And Ella put her thoughts in, which were very good thoughts.
She did. Virgil from Manchester, England. Appreciate you, man. Tell your friends.
Felice.
Check us out, man. Felice always got something good to say, okay? Now look at this. Ella said bye.
Listen, even Byron held back on the jokes.
Oh man, right?
Couple of them. But it was a good conversation.
It probably was his chickens crossing the street.
Because they were getting away from the tariffs. But it was a good conversation. We appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. You know. This is Dope Living TV Live, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow, all right? Peace.
So this is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and Dope Living.
Oops, the wrong one. But that was Jordan Gray. That was my son. So I just had to put that out there, okay? It was better to put that out there.
Oh, you need to delete that.
What is that?
Alton Coleman.
We'll tell you about it. All right. Anyway, Dope Living TV Live for real, y'all. Peace out.